we learned that the CAG report on the Rafale aircraft deal could be submitted in the Parliament in the upcoming budget session. Top officials have confirmed to Network 18 that the CAG is now in possession of the final draft of the report. Arunima, who broke that story, joins us now. Arunima, what are your sources telling you?
Well, three things. Number one, there will be two versions of that report. One which will be given to the Parliament, which will be the public version. This version may not have the price of those 36 jets mentioned. There will be a separate version, 3 copies of which will be given to the Ministry of Defence. This will perhaps have the price of those jets. The reason being given is that the MOD, in its response to the CAG, has said that in the interest of national security, the price of the jets should be kept away from the public, because if the price is made public, then enemy nations will get to know the kind of weaponry, etc., that the aircraft is coming loaded with. Number two, what we are told is that in this session itself, the CAG is aiming to submit the report. It is saying if the Public Accounts Committee wants to know the exact price, it can get the original copy from the MOD. Even otherwise, as per CAG officials, the report that will be in the public domain will have the CAG's opinion vis-a-vis the deal's overall cost. What essentially the CAG officials are saying is that even without mentioning the exact price, the opinion will be given if the deal cracked by NDA was better or worse in terms of cost, and that should be sufficient for the PAC to make up its mind. So those are two important points coming out. Congress leaders we have been speaking to have made it clear that this kind of arrangement is not acceptable to them. If indeed the CAG puts an edited version out in the public domain, Congress will ensure that they raise the matter and target the government on this.
Arunima, thanks for that. It's time now for our special coverage of the upcoming union budget. Government officials have reiterated that the centre will stick to the convention and will present an interim budget on the 1st of February. The clarification follows reports suggesting that the centre may go ahead with a full-fledged budget. Remember, speaking at the CNBC TV18 India Business Leader Awards earlier this month, Union Minister Arun Jaitley had said that the government will follow the convention.
It entirely depends on what the existing situations are. And if we look at the big picture, there have been successes that we've seen in the last few years. There have also been challenges. And therefore, without getting into the specifics, because that would really be disclosing the mind into which we are working, some of those challenges really can't afford to wait. And therefore, obviously, there would be a necessity to address some of them. It's happened in the past, and therefore, we intend working within the parameters of the conventions as they exist. Last year was an unusual situation where we had the GST revenue only for 11 months, and we had to really make the expenditure for the full 12 months. And therefore, from 3.5, I intended coming down to 3.3 last year itself, but because of a 1 month absence of a tax revenue of the GST, we couldn't afford to do that. So that was an exceptional situation, which I am sure the markets also understand. And therefore, I certainly do understand the importance. And of course, deviations are possible only if extraordinary circumstances exist. And those are extraordinary circumstances which for analysts, for global players, for domestic players are relatively easier to understand.
So it will be an interim budget. And as we count down to it, FMCG and retail sector expects reforms to give more money in the hands of the customers. They expect a reduction in corporate tax to boost expansion plans. Priya Sheth has been speaking to industry members. She gets us a list of the sector's wish list for the finance minister. Priya, over to you.
Well, the FMCG and the retail industry are hoping that the interim budget will boost overall consumption in India. Now, do remember that over the last 2 years, demonetization as well as the transition to GST has had a negative impact as far as spending is concerned for several pockets of the country. And therefore, the FMCG as well as the retail sector are hoping that the budget throws up some reforms that will bring about relief to the farming community at large. Now, higher rural allocation, income support schemes as well as sops could help bring down rural distress at large, and therefore the rural sector, which is an important part of an FMCG company's business, contributing about 40% of overall sales for most FMCG companies, needs a more sort of allocation from the government, is what several of the FMCG companies believe. Therefore, better execution of rural schemes could also help give a boost as far as consumption is concerned. Now, a long-standing demand for the industry has also been to give the retail sector an industry status. This would help give it easier access to finance as well as attract more investments. Any move towards reduction of corporate tax rates will also be seen as a positive for the FMCG as well as the retail industry at large.
Thanks for getting us the wish list of these two industries.